Hi, I'm Dylan.
I'm Rico.
I'm Logan.
Troy. Today we are reviewing the Xbox One by Microsoft Studios.
Okay, here's the Xbox One box that it comes in. Here's the Xbox One itself. Here's the controller, the headset, the Kinect, the power bar, the 6-foot HDMI cable, and here's some of the games that are supported on the Xbox One. So here's an example of the Xbox One controller and the mic. You just plug it into the bottom, and it's got the plus, minus, and mute button, which is different than what it had on the Xbox 360, which had it right here on the cable from the headset coming down.
So with the Xbox One comes the Kinect sensor, which has a video recording camera, infrared, and other sorts of cameras in it. You can also use voice commands with it. For example, Xbox on, Xbox launch this app, that
Fire Volley.
or Fire Volley in specific games can use it.
The Xbox One has an 8-core AMD CPU processor, 8 GB of RAM, and a GPU that clocks in at 853 gigahertz or megahertz. It weighs 8 pounds and it measures at 13 inches wide, 10.4 inches deep, and 3.2 inches tall.
Logan, what do you think of the Xbox One?
Well, I really like the Xbox One, other than the fact that it doesn't have 1080p, it only has 720p. And even the current gen consoles have that, so I don't understand why Microsoft couldn't put that in.
I would say cost. I mean, like, they would probably save money on whatever's inside.
I mean, they would save money too if they didn't put a Kinect in every box.
Well, with the Kinect, like I stated earlier, it's like every consumer will have one, so developers know to put that in their games, and that way the Kinect will become more of a gaming feature possibly in the future, because developers know that everyone has one if they have an Xbox One.
I think Microsoft was just too pressed during PS4's kick-ass at E3, so they just felt like they had to release their console earlier because PS4 was already released. So they had to come a week later, and I think they rushed the hardware a little bit, and they're trying to compensate because they can't perform at 1080p with 60 FPS, so they had to lower it to 720p.
It does support 1080. The games just don't play.
Well, yeah, exactly. But isn't that what the Xbox One is supposed to be?
Well, then that's just the developer's fault.
Yeah.
It's not the console's fault. Although the one big complaint I have about the console is that everything is Windows 8 based.
Yes.
It's the whole dashboard system and that, it's not very intuitive, just like Windows 8 is.
Where all the buttons are like misplaced around.
It's, for example, if I want to go to my friends list, I have the dashboard, it has games and most recent things I've used.
Yeah.
So I click on my profile and that loads up my profile. And then I click on friends and it loads up my friends. And then from friends, I still have to select online friends. And then it finally shows me who's on. It's just going through multiple layers just through the whole interface, and it's not very great. But one thing that is good is the snapping feature, where it's, if I'm playing a game, I can say Xbox Snap Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
And then I can look up a guide for the game while I'm playing it and have both on the screen. And it's useful.
So what do you think of the network browser that the Xbox One implemented in their system?
I mean, it's not as good as I would say Google Chrome on PC,
Yeah.
but if I wanted to go on YouTube or if I wanted to go on Reddit or a website like that, it does its job. Using the controller is not much different than a mouse. Left analog stick still controls where the cursor is, A clicks. It's just the sensitivity isn't the same.
Yeah. So Rika, what do you think about the voice commands that the Xbox One Kinect has?
The voice commands are pretty cool. It gives a lot more to the game, and you can do a lot more with it. Even though sometimes it doesn't pick up your voice, and also it can pick up other voices around the room. But even still, the things that you can do with it are pretty cool.
One of the great things about Kinect, though, is because I use mine, and the Kinect I had for my Xbox 360, it did not have very close range sensor. So when I'd be playing, or for example, I was playing some Kinect game where, you hit a ball with your hand or whatever, it would tell me, you're too close or you're too far. I haven't had this problem with the Kinect 2.0. And another good feature about the Kinect is that when I sit down and turn on the console, I guess it scanned me and saved a picture, so it just auto-signs me in.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, actually. It's very useful. It saves a lot of time pushing buttons.
Also with the Kinect, I'm not sure if you guys have used Skype with it, but if it'll have like all the people in the room, and whoever's talking, it will notice that and it will zoom in on that person.
Oh, so it's like if you're doing a conference call, it'll automatically
zoom in on the where the sound's coming from.
Oh, that's cool.
A big buying point of the Xbox One for me, the ability to carry over my profile from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One. So all the work I put into building up my point system and that wasn't, I guess, put to waste. But I mean, that's probably how Microsoft lures you in, by fake points.
But then that wouldn't lure you in from the PS3.
Well, it's because I didn't have a PS3. So if I had a PS3, I'd probably get the PS4 because I would already have my progress on the PS3 and it would carry over to the PS4.
So you're saying that all people on Xbox 360 will stick with the Xbox One?
I wouldn't say all people, but I mean, it's, to me and most other consumers, I would say that's a big feature, is the ability to carry over your progress.
So they're trying to cause a whole brand loyalty kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. That's a
Yeah.
big point for me, is I guess you could say I was pretty brand loyal in buying it, yeah.
All right, so Rico, we're gonna put this Xbox One controller in your hands, and you're gonna tell me from first grasp, just how does it feel?
Honestly, it feels pretty much the same as the 360. The only thing I can really tell the difference is the thumbsticks. They're a bit smaller, but it doesn't feel that big of a difference.
One of the big things I like about the controller is that the battery pack is no longer jutting out from the back
Yeah.
like it was on the 360. Now it's all built in. So I feel like because the Xbox One is obviously worked with Skype, Microsoft has worked with Skype, voice chatting on the console is a lot clearer now. Before on the Xbox 360, it'd be kind of, you could hear maybe faint white noise, or it wouldn't be as top quality as, let's say, Skype on the PC.
Yeah.
But now I would say it's on par with Skype on PC. It's very clear, and it's very easy to identify who's talking. Built into the console is a game recording feature. For example, be playing Battlefield 4, and I'll get an amazing kill, and I can just shout out Xbox, record that, and it will record the past minute or so, and then a minute further, about 2-minute clip.
The maximum amount of time that it can record gameplay is 5 minutes. And after that, it goes to an upload center in the home where you can go and access all your clips.
From there you can see what other people have posted to. You can see new footage from your friends, and there's also a hub of the most seen videos, highest rated videos.